Alright, this video is about fractions of a set where we take a word problem and we kind of read it and we have to use a bar model and we have to show and understand we're taking a fraction of like a big piece of something, okay? So we're either going to find a fraction as an answer or we're actually going to find out how many things are in that set. So let's start with this one. It says there are 16 cups in the set. So if you look, I see 16 cups. And the set of cups is divided into 4 groups, okay? So here's realistically a group, 2, 3. Here are the 4 groups. And it says 12 out of the 16 cups in the set are blue. So I know that these ones are 12. And they want to know how many are red. Well, if the whole thing's 16 and this part is 12, I know that I can subtract and I can figure out that it's 4. Instead of drawing actual cups, though, what we are going to do is draw bars, okay? So, whenever it says, like this one, what is 2/5 of 15? In my brain, I always picture like M&Ms or something. And I always put a bar, and I always think, okay, well, if there's 15 M&Ms total in my thing, and I want to find how many is in 2 out of 5 groups, well, then I know that I have to make 5 groups. But I only actually care about 2 of them. I don't really care what's in these, okay? So if I'm trying to find 2/5 of 15, I'm looking and I first am noticing what numbers I have. Well, if the whole is 15 and there's 5 groups, and I'm trying to place 15 M&Ms into 5 equal groups, I know I'm doing 15 divided by 5, which equals 3. So in my mind, that tells me that 3 M&Ms are in every group. But I only want to know how many M&Ms are in 2 of the 5 groups. And if I look, I have 3 and 3. So I know that 2/5 of 15 equals 6. Okay? So now what I want you guys to do is to stop and draw and try to figure these out. 2/3 of 6. Okay? Well, I've got 6 M&Ms. Not a lot, but I'm putting them into groups of says 2. I want to know how many are in 2/3 of those 6. Well, I need to break up 3 groups, and I only care about 2 of them. I don't care about the third. I want to know how many are in there. If I'm looking, if my whole is 6 and I have 3 equal groups, I know that I'm doing 6 divided by 3, and I can figure out that there are 2 in every single group. And if I'm looking at my 2 out of the 3, well, I have 2 plus 2, and that equals 4. So in 2/3 of 6, there's 4 M&Ms, or 4 of whatever you're talking about. What if we try 2/3 of 9 and 3/5 of 30? I want you to stop and try these and then check your answers. So pause the video and then come back to me. 2/3 of 9. Okay, if I have a group and there are 9 things in it, and I'm making 2/3, I'm making it into 3 groups, but I only actually care about 2 of those groups. Well, if I have 9 M&Ms in 3 groups, I know 9 divided by 3. I know that that equals 3. So 3 goes into every single group. And then together, 3 plus 3 equals 6. So I know that 2/3 of 9 is 6. Okay? On a test, this is how you would show your work and explain it and prove to me that you actually understand what you're talking about. But there is like an algorithm or a tricky way to kind of do it. But if it doesn't make sense to you, then don't do it because you have to actually understand this and not just memorize a trick to do this. But in your head, if you are looking at 2/3 of 9, I look at the whole number and I'm like, okay, I have 9 M&Ms. And I know because the denominator's 3, that I'm splitting them up into 3 equal groups because if I have 9 things, it's in thirds. I have 3, 3, 3. So what I first do is I take my whole number and I divide it by how many groups I have, which is 3. Okay, so 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then what I have to do is there's 3 in every group, but I only care about 2 of those groups. So I take my 3 and multiply it by 2 because that's 2 groups, and then 3 times 2 equals 6, and I get my same answer. Basically, this is you doing this exact thing, but just kind of doing it in your head. If you want to try that, you can, but I also would like you to draw out every single problem to prove to me that you actually understand why it works. All right, 3/5 of 30. Again, I'm picturing 30 M&Ms. And if it's in 3/5, I know that I have to break this apart. And I know that I have to divide because I have equal parts in a whole, so I'm trying to find the part. So 30 divided by 5 is 6. See, 30 divided by 5 is 6. Now I only care about 3 of them, so I have to take my 6, 1, 2, 3, and multiply it by 3, and 6 times 3 equals 18. So I know that in 3/5 of 30, there are 18 M&Ms. Skip that. Let's see, why don't we do, let's do number 6. It says 3/4 of 20. I know I have a group of M&Ms, and there's 20 of them. And I know if it's 3 out of 4, I know it's cut into 4 groups. And I know that if I have 20 things in 4 groups, I'm first dividing 20 divided by 4, and that's 5 goes into every group. And then I know that if I only care about 3 of them, I know that I'm taking 5, 10, 15, or 5 times 3 to get 15. So I know that 3/4 of 20 is 15. If you want to try these ones, you can, and just to practice, but I'm going to keep moving. Let's see. Okay, one of these, sometimes they're going to give you different information. So the model shows a set of objects. What fraction of the set does the shaded part show? Well, I have 21 things, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 4, 5, 6, 7 of 21 things. Okay? Let's see. If you also want to practice these, you can. Let's do one more. 4/9 of 45. Again, I'm picturing I have my M&Ms. I have 45 M&Ms, and I have 4 out of 9 groups, so I need 9 groups. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I only care about 4 of them, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, again, 45, and if I have 9 groups, I'm dividing 45 by 9 to figure out how many goes in each group. And I know 45 divided by 9 is 5. So I know that 5 M&Ms go into every single group. And then I only care about 4 of them. So I have to do 5 M&Ms times 4 groups. And I know that that's 5, 10, 15, 20. So 4/9 of 45 is 20. Okay, hopefully this was helpful. If you want to look at your workbook for some problems, you can maybe, and you can redo some, or you could check your work on some. There's going to be one more video, so please watch that one. Bye.